Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Shekharam Smitamukhim Apina Makshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Vibhratim Soumyam Ratna Gadasta Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam. Welcome to all for this session on Lalitopakhyanam. In the previous chapters, we have seen an end to Bhandasura and all his people, and then at the end of that, all the Devathas led by Brahma they sing in the praise of Devi Lalita, and at the end of it, they requested Devi Lalita to recreate Manmatha and who will be and make Manmatha victorious this time so that Shiva and Parvati will be united, leading to the birth of Skanda, who will finally going to kill Tarakasura, who is an another Bandasura himself. And then the compassionate Lalita Devi looked into the eyes of Kameshwara, and when their loving eyes met with each other, from that combination, born or reborn Manmatha with the same vigorous body. Rati Devi felt very happy, and then when Manmatha asked for the command of Devi Lalita, who is her mother now, Lalita commanded him to go to Stanvashrama and throw the arrows at Shiva, which will this time make him victorious and will fill the heart of Shiva with love for Parvati, which finally leads to their union. Arriving at Stanvashrama, Ananga espied Lord Shiva in Samadhi, but without losing a moment, he let fly his newly blessed arrows at him. With the touch of these powerful arrows, Shiva's mind leaped into activity and was immediately clouded with moha, inducing passion for Parvati, whereupon he left his austere tapas and began to long for Uma and her graceful presence. By the increasing action of Ananga's arrows, Lord Shiva's passion for Parvati also increased in proportion, and he was completely overwhelmed by the unbearable separation from her. He longed and pined for her presence and could not stay still. Neither the cool moonbeams nor the ice cold Ganga water could comfort him. Nandi, Bringi, Mahakala, and other chiefs brought many flowers and made his couch cool, soft, and fragrant. Nandi lent his hands as a pillow on the flowery couch too, but all to no avail. Even the icy Himalaya was not able to quench the heart of Shiva's passion, which began to consume his body as though with fever. Almost distraught with love, he would draw the form of Parvati with his fingernail and stare longingly at it. He would spend his days and nights thinking of Uma, speaking of Uma, and listening to the tales of Uma only. He urged his attendants to quickly arrange for a meeting with Parvati and to bring about his wedding with her speedily. Having thus far succeeded with Lord Shiva, Ananga now turned his attention to Parvati. At the touch of his arrows, Uma, who had been disheartened and burning with shame and frustration at what had happened to her, now became agitated with renewed longing for Lord Shiva. Her pale face was smeared with hot tears. Neither food nor sleep could she welcome. Her many handmaidens did all they could to comfort and console her, and tried to cool her body with many an unguent. Sighing and heaving, sleepless and anxious, Uma spent day after day and night after night in mental agony. Unable to see his daughter suffering, so Himavanta advised her to practice penance, please Lord Shiva, and thus win his favor as a boon. Thus advised, Uma went up the Himalayas and sitting on the peak named Gauri began an austere tapas with intent to win Shiva for her lord, undaunted by cold, heat, or sleet. Her great austerity attracted Lord Shiva, who hastened unto her with all speed and gave her his darshan. No sooner had Parvati offered to wed him than Shiva accepted her heartily and made haste to marry her instantly according to Vedic ritual offered by her father Himavan with the Sapta Rishis acting as Purohits. The marriage was celebrated amid applause from Devas and Devathas and to the joy of the three worlds. Thus united, Parvati and Parameshwara wandered together from one mountain peak to another and from forest to forest on a long honeymoon, each satisfying the hunger for the other's company and proximity. The long separation had at last came to an end and flowered into joy and contentment. After these long peregrinations, they sat last settled down at Kailasa with Pramathaganas who welcomed them most joyfully. Soon, however, Lord Shiva wished to be once more alone with Parvati to pour out his abundant love and to share hers. He therefore set out with Parvati first to Mandaragiri, then to the Vindhyas, and then to the Himashaila, Malaya, Pariyatraka, and many other hills and peaks. On an auspicious occasion, in uniting with Uma, Lord Shiva released his pent up heat of passion in Viryapata. This pure Retas of Maheshwara was so unbearably hot that unable to hold it in her womb, Parvati let it slide to the ground. The latter, also being scorched, rolled into fire. The god of fire carried it to the flaming constellation of Pleiades and handed it over to the group of six Kritika sisters who took fond care of the developing embryo for a while. Soon, however, they were obliged to put it into the cool waters of Ganga. The latter, too, unable to bear the extreme heat, pushed it gently into the Saravana forest, where at last the baby grew in stature with the six faces glowing like fire. The Ganga then handed over the divine child to the Lord Shiva, who brought him up most lovingly. Caressed with loving care by his mother Parvati also, Kumara grew up to be most powerful and valiant hero. Lord Shiva taught him all the arts and sciences and then installed him as the commander in chief of the Devas. Soon Kumara was on the battlefield marching against Tarakasura and his armies. In no time he slew Tarakeshwara and his valiant chieftains, and the Devas and Devathas were once more freed from the tortures of the Danavas. Overjoyed at the destruction of Tarakasura, Indra gave his daughter Devasena in marriage to Kumara, and again there was a wedding celebrated, this time Parvati's son Kumara and Devasena being the targets of Ananga's arrows. Devasena was filled with joy at winning Kumara's love, and they lived happily ever after. Having thus accomplished his duty of creating happiness all around, while his myriad doubles were busy filling the three worlds with sweet moha. Manmatha returned to where Sri Devi Lalita was residing in Srinagara, and in the cool sunshine of her benign, smiling, gracious looks, he found the ecstatic joy. Thus, in this last part of the story, we have seen how the union of Shiva and Parvati led to the birth of Kumara, who then later became the commander in chief of the entire divine army, and he took his army against Tarakasura and then killed him in the battlefield, thus bringing the joy to all the Devathas. And in recognition of it, Indra gave his daughter Devasena in marriage to Kumara, and that brought the joy to all the three worlds. And in the following chapters, we will going to see the description of Manidvipa of Srinagara as well about the description of Sri Chakra. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmirapuravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.